In the middle of the night, in a distant village. Without the sound of people there was only the sound of small insects. Enough not to be too lonely. People were going to bed early in the evening. No one dared to come out in the night. In the midst of the sound of silence, a panicked cry was heard from the cowshed behind the house. The sound of a cow frightened by something, as if it were the sound of a cry for life. All happened in the eyes of the man who owns the cow. He saw something was hurting his cow. It's a monster. With only the head and the intestines, a red light emanated from its innards. He could hardly believe his eyes. He trembled with fear at what he saw. But in my heart, I thought that I had to do something. He soon made up his mind. Decided. Carry his trusted gun. And ran down from the house to deal with it. When it saw him in shock. So it floated away into the forest. He ran after him without thinking about his life. By relying on the red light from its incandescent as a guide. After following for a while, that light had disappeared. He must be shocked again. Then he met a figure lying in the middle of the forest. The weird thing is, the figure had no head. He knew right away that this is the figure of a Krasue. He raised his gun without thinking, hoping to shoot at that body. While about to pull the trigger, there was a sound of laughter from behind him. Everything ends before that man will be shot out, along with a cold laugh. Legend of the Krasue. Krasue has been around since ancient times. People in the old days often called ghosts dragging guts. Krasue is a type of ghost. Some might say it's a monster. The characteristics of a Krasue are only the head and the guts floating around. There will be light coming out of the incandescent. Some say it's red. Some say it's green. Krasue is often active at night, by leaving the body at home, and will return to his body at dawn. Daytime will look like a normal person. But there is a strange behavior. I don't like making eye contact with people. Rarely speaks. Introverted. Usually, they don't attack people. When meeting people, they will float away. But if anyone makes Krasue dissatisfied, they will attack. Maybe just a little injury. Some of them even reach the point of death. Krasue can smell blood from a distance. Especially if someone gave birth to a child. Must be careful with the Krasue. They will recognize it. And will come in to eat the liver, kidneys, intestines, and the placenta of a newborn child. In addition to fresh food, fishy stuff. Krasue also likes to eat dirty things. For example, feces. Krasue can be transmitted by saliva. If anyone ingests the saliva of the Krasue, it will become a Krasue. If not necessary, the old people would not drink water from strangers, for fear that there might be the saliva of the Krasue in it. How to prevent Krasue? When the people of the village will give birth to a child, villagers often bring branches with sharp thorns to hang on the door and window of the house. In order to prevent the Krasue from entering the house if the Krasue comes in, its liver, kidneys, and intestines will be hit by thorns and cannot escape, and will eventually be dealt with by the villagers.